In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a list like this one here. So when I click on expense category, it will drive the options for expense type. Before I jump into this content, please click subscribe to see future videos like this. And please hang around to the end. I've got a challenge for you. Okay, let's go. Right, before going into data validation, let's have a look at creating our lists. I prefer to create my lists on a separate sheet because it allows me to hide this sheet to stop people from changing the data. And you will notice with this one, the categories are actually the column headings for each expense type. What I need to do is name each of these columns. So I select business travel and then I go to create from selection, comes up with this prompt. Create names from values in the top row is what I want. So just make sure that's selected with the other ones deselected. Click OK, and you repeat that for each list. So when you're using the create from selection, what it does, it will name the ranges. So let me go to the name manager to show you what that looks like. So we've got each column there named, and you'll notice that Excel replaced the spaces with an underscore. Now there is a workaround to that, and I will show you that later in the video. The next thing to do is create our lists. So I'm going to go back to the other sheet, go to the expense category, go to data validation. So I want to create a list, go to the source, and all I do is just select those headings only. Click OK, so that's done. Let's just test that one. So let's do the expense type now. So back into data validation. I want a list. Now for this one, if I type in equals, and then something called indirect, open up the brackets, and it's going to be B2. So B2 refers to the expense category. So what this indirect function does, it will help to use the expense category as a reference point. So as a reference point to drive the options for expense type. Now sometimes you might get this error message. I normally say yes, and it still works. So let me show you. If I click on the drop down, choose my category, and then I've got the expense types. So if your options in the parent list has any spaces, like here I've got business travel and food and drink, then the indirect function on its own won't work. You need to choose something else, and let me show you. So instead of indirect on its own, you need to use something called substitute, and it looks like this. So what it does, it will replace the underscore with a space. And if I click OK to that and then test it, you can see that works. For more information on these functions and for a step-by-step guide, then please go to my website. Now don't run away just yet, I've got a challenge for you. So here's your challenge if you choose to accept it. So when I click on business travel, I get all the options for business travel. So let's select one of these. But if I change the expense category to something else like entertainment, it doesn't update or it doesn't refresh or clear the expense type. So what I want you to do is come up with a solution to clear it. To see my next video, just click here. And if you haven't already, then please click subscribe. I will see you in the next video.